Just look at this beautiful, beautiful tree that I found on Margot's Facebook today. Yep, it hasn't quite happened here yet, but wow, I am so looking forward to when that happens in our backyard. Here's our backyard right now. It hasn't quite popped yet, but it is going to turn that color orange, and I'm so excited for it. I think it's a pistache is what we call it here, a pistache. So good morning, everybody. It is Monday, October 17th. I hope that you had a great weekend. We most certainly did. Today we're going to be working on tricky triangles and kind of the body of the basket where you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles, okay? And to understand the difference of triangles, and I know a lot of you can do this in your sleep, but it is my endeavor and hope that we have newbies here. That's what I hope, I pray for. So good morning. So what happened this weekend? Well, Lennox's birthday is tomorrow, so they had a little celebration yesterday at the house. No, not at the house. No, not even at their house, at the Vine Theater. Apparently, for kids' parties, you can rent out the Vine. It's the theater that's been around since I was a little kid. And you get some sort of movie and some sort of this, some sort of that, and then you can invite as many kids as you want. I think. So that was in the morning, and then we just went over with family and had pizza in the afternoon. It was lovely. But on Saturday, we did go over to Alden Lane. Just Lennox went. William wasn't interested exactly. And I have to look this picture. There's stuff everywhere there. The kid had a ball. I didn't get the memo that I was supposed to make a goofy face. I looked at this and I'm going, man, that kid is white. Or maybe it's that she's in the shade. I don't know. But they had all sorts of, they got these big giant figures there always, and they had crafting tables. The place was jammed. The weather was absolutely beautiful, but also 4-H comes, all right. And they had bunnies there, they had a cow there, they had a chicken there, they had little goats there, and you could pet them. And it never occurred to me that 4-H should be something that they do for this kid. She wants to be a vet, okay? And the thing is, I'm not going to get a horse for my backyard, but I don't think you have to. So, anyways, I came home with the 4-H information, and you could see my daughter just go, oh, one more thing. And then we had to explain because Lennox's best friend, they're going to do it. I think they're going to get a goat in the backyard and a chicken or something. And we had to explain what happens to some of these animals at auction. And I thought she was going to start crying. I didn't know if she was kidding or not, but she like bubbled up red. And I'm, okay, well, that wasn't a great idea to tell her that. So I think, remember was it Friday or whatever? I was doing show and tell. I'm going, man, where are these images? I remember snapping them, putting them where they needed to be, etc. Well, my sorting system on the back end did things alphabetically, not by most current. And I was loading everything up, thinking everything was most current. So I recovered, okay? This is Lynn's. This is her neutral quilt. And so I love the rug it's on too. You know what I love about these neutral quilts is that kind of Irish chain, even though it's not an Irish chain because it's not on an angle, but going down in the whites. I just think this is a smashing quilt. So thank you, Lynn. And Lynn even sent me a snapshot and I said, could you please send me another one? So I felt so bad when I realized on Friday that one was missing. I think another one that was missing was, let me see, was this one. Oh, no, that's Lynn's. Okay, this is Tina. And she had a trick on how to do the basket handles and get the scant 1/4 inch. And I spoke about it on Friday, but it was like, where are those pictures? I know I've got them. So what she did was she came in just with a little pen and like probably a friction pen and just goes tick, 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 tick. You can see where the arrow is. That's a great way to do it. Then Margot texted me, and here's the deal. On the Bernina, which she works on, they have a couple quarter-inch feet. One is a 97, it's a newer one, where the right side is your regular quarter-inch, and then the left side is a little bit bigger. But their original quarter-inch foot, number 37, it could be 37C, 37D, but 37 had a quarter-inch, okay, wait, on both sides. Oh, please, did I lose it? I didn't bring it over. So what Margot did, wait, let's do this one. Yeah, there it is. I'm sorry. Margot, if you're using the 37 foot, if you just make it so that you could see a little bit on the left-hand side of the fold, just like that, that's another way to do it, but you've got to have a 37 foot, all right? I have kind of moved away from that foot to the 97 foot, but if I were to do these handles again, I'd probably slap on that 37, and almost every quilter I know who owns a Bernina has a 37 foot. So Margot, thank you for that, and Tina, you too, I really appreciate. Okay, then Linda sent this picture. I'm looking at everybody's here. Is the pattern corrected? The pattern for the handles is corrected. If you go to thequiltshow.com, go under lessons, and then you'll see my baskets class, and then there's a little bar, and one is documents, PDFs. Hit that, and that will give you the correct basket handle. I hope that's what you're asking about, Lucy. Okay. Okay, so Linda sent me this picture, and okay, fun, table runner, fun, 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 fun. But then look at what she did with the edges, with the border. Those were like leftover scraps. But then I want to show you what she did on the back. And Linda, you can use both sides in my book. This would be, to me, a more contemporary table setting. I love that it's asymmetrical and all that. But then she threw in more of those itsy bitsies. And that's the case of not throwing that stuff away, that fabric, right? Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, and then this is Janet's. Oh, okay. Where's my notes? Okay, so Janet, when I first got it, I'm like, wait, okay, what is going on here? That's Color, Color My World that we did last year with Wendy Williams, but it hangs behind her bed. Now, this is the thing on the bed, the quilt, is by Gudrun Erla. I had not heard of Gudrun. And so I looked her up. I stalked her. I looked her up, and she was an Icelandic person. And just in the last couple years, they moved to the U.S. Her husband's work brought them here. And so I went and looked at Gudrun's patterns, and this one's called Astrid. I think she's a very interesting designer. I'd say right now, Janet, you're not afraid of color, and you are living wonderfully under it. Absolutely wonderfully. So thank you for that share. And also thank you for the shout out for Gudrun Erla, Gudrennerla. Okay? Like, great eye. All right. So, was one other thing. And what was that one other thing? Okay, we're going to talk about the tricky triangles, all right? Let's start with her husband worked with Prince? Really? Wow. Yeah, you guys, so I must be living under a rock if I don't know who Gudrun is, because apparently all you guys do, you people, you people. Oh, the other thing at Alden Lane before we get into this, they hung quilts at the fall festival, not outside, but our guild, Amador Valley Quilters, they had inside the front old original building quilts that were like from a challenge group from the guild. and they were wonderful. They were arty, and I'm really embarrassed. I can't remember the name of the group. I'm really embarrassed about that. But that was like, oh my gosh, there's quilts at Alden Lane. Yay. So, okay. All right, here we go. Those tricky triangles. Let me scoot back here. I love today because I love the weather. It's so crisp and cold at night, and then I start off with layers, and then take them off as the day gets warmer and warmer. Um, Here, well, let's talk about this one right here. Okay, so in this block right here, you have two kinds of triangles. You have half square triangles, and then this is half square, and then you have, wait a minute, they're all half square. What am I talking about? Half square, half square, half square. This is all half square triangles. Oh my gosh. Yes, they are. What a moron I am. Yeah. Okay. Well, since I said we're going to talk about triangles, hey, you get what you pay for here. Okay. Um, let's talk about these triangles. Okay, this block is all square triangles, which is this, all right? It's when you take a square and you cut it on the diagonal. And what it gives you is this straight of grain and this straight of grain. This straight of grain, this straight of grain. Here is your bias, and your bias is really, it can mess you up so fast to make your head spin when you come to pressing and pulling and this and that. In this block, we'll be working with half square triangles. I am so embarrassed. I can't stand it. That's okay. I only made the quilt. Okay, here is a quarter square triangle. You cut, and then you cut it into quarters by going corner to corner. Now, back to the half square. Here is your 90 degree. Here is your 90 degree on straight of grain, okay? Here's your 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. And this is what's on the straight of grain. And while the triangles look the same with the 90 degree, they are very, very different. And if you don't put them in the right place, you're going to get really messed up. So those are your biases, those are your straight of grains, etc. Okay? I can't believe that I'm such a moron. All right. I'm your faithless leader. So what we did was we made 38 of these handles, right? And you can't see here, but I stay stitched because that is such a long stretch of grain, bias. So I stay stitched it. So when it comes to making this, I had to decide on these two. Okay, this is a good discussion here. I'm redeeming myself right now in front of you, I hope. Here, I decided to do these as half square triangles, which means this is on the bias, okay? Half square, straight of grain, bias. I could have easily done it the other way to make this the straight of grain and this the bias, doing the quarter square triangles. But I chose not to because in the end, when this unit was pieced, I wanted the outside edge on straight of grain. Now, some people might say, well, let's sew this row together and then sew this on. Trust me on this one. You can take this to the bank. Don't do it that way. I am going to sew this to this, all right? And I'm going to do my 1/4 inch. I'm going to perfectly line this up, and I'm not going to drop a pin in along here because this is bias. I mean, you kind of have to handle it like kid gloves. If when you're looking at this side, you want to see white, this is a Sally Collins thing, which seems kind of obvious, but it's not obvious. When I look at this side, I want to do white. Oh, that's not cut properly. Oh God, can it just get better? Can it just get better? How did that happen? Look at that, you guys. Um, Let me go trim that off. I'll be right back. I will be right back. Can I blame this on my cataracts? Can I please blame it on my cataracts? Yeah, I got to get cataract surgery. Yeah, it's my cataracts. It's my cataracts in my brain. Okay, let's try again. This is why some people don't want to go live. You've just witnessed it. Okay, on two cases. So on this side, I want to see white, back to Sally. And on this side, I want to see blue. All right. It is so easy to get things shifted like that. It is so easy. Let me bring this down a little bit more. And, you think, oh, well, that's fine. Well, guess what, people? It's not. All right. Now, the good thing about this block is that there aren't points that really need to be matched up except in one case. So let me, if I want, because I just am afraid it's going to scoot a little bit. Oh, I got to clean that off. Well, that means it's well loved. You could put a little bit of glue on the end. Okay, I'm going to go over and sew. I don't see the value of you watching me stitch a 1/4 inch. Okay, I am, just as an FYI, using the number 97D. And I don't know why. I don't know why I steered away from the 37, because I loved the 37. And honestly, I did not embrace the 97 at all when it first came out. Okay, I need scissors. I'll use the cutter on this. Here's this. All right. So let me, should I just iron on this? No, let me move this. All right, turn this over. So I'm going to press it, set the seam, all right? And then I am like this. Yeah, honey? What's the question? Oh, you brought my scissors. You can be an operational, someone in the operating room. And then I'm going to open it from the top and press it this way. All right? I didn't bring it over, but there's no reason you couldn't put a clapper on there or an iron or something just to set it down a little bit more. And I think for accuracy, that's the smart thing to do. So I'm not showing shortcuts with the half square triangles because I want it as scrappy as I can get it. And many times those shortcuts reap doubles. So that's why you have to learn the old fashioned way. Okay, now we're getting it. I have to tell you, I was sweating bullets here thinking that this was going to be wrong, but it's working. Okay, this is when you get into when weirdo shapes don't line up. You've got the side of this triangle. Well, let's clip off those bunny ears. Let me talk about that. I clip these off when I know the thing has been sewn together properly. If something is askew, if I have not clipped off those bunny ears, I can go back and measure and see what I've done incorrectly. All right, so you can see that this is longer. So what do you do with that? And this is an always thing I'll be telling you. You take, when you have a triangle like this up to a square, you align this out here. All right, right there. Beautiful, beautiful line. I think I'm going to drop in a little bit of glue just right here and right here. Okay. So I don't want to get my head in the way, but I got to get down here and see. So this is when weirdo shapes don't line up. That might be a good little class. That would be an excellent little class on when weirdo shapes don't line up. Actually, I'm going to do it. Okay, so now I am going to sew right down this line here, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. A lot of you are looking at sewing machines for the holidays. Ha ha ha. And I think right now Bernina has a interest-free payment thing for a lot of days. I mean, like really good, awesome. You might want to see if I'm telling lies or if it's true. All right, so now I am going to set the seam here. This is a bias, people. This is a bias, and you have entered into danger zone. Danger zone. So I'm going to bring my iron up here. I am not in any way touching this with my iron. In any way. Then this is the crux of it. Then I'm going to go like this. I'm going to fold it over. I know that that is bias, all right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and off. Never, ever, ever, ever do that. I'm a pretty laid back teacher, but when I see people pressing wrong, I correct them in the most gentle, kindest way possible that I'm feeling that moment. Okay, so once again now, I've got a weirdo shape that doesn't line up. So I'm going to go like this. Okay, I'm looking at, again, this is bias here. Okay, see, this was off a little bit. See how this is sticking out a little bit? I don't want that. I really want it lined up. And am I really this hard on myself in real life? No. But I try and start with the best intentions so that I have the best results. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna sew. All right, here we go. And I just use a regular stitch length. I love my 80 weight thread for my bobbin. I love, 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 love it. Quilters Select 80 weight. All right, so now this is on the bias. And I'm sorry I'm being so repetitive, but I am a maniac about this. I come up, come off. That's it. I gently open it up. This is all bias. And I never, ever, ever, ever touch it. Okay, I am inclined to trim off these bunny ears now because I've got my 1/4 inch from here to here. Yay. And then we're going to sew on the top. Now, when you sew your top on, if you want, it doesn't really make a real impact on this handle, but I would not be opposed of people going in there and just clipping it a little bit. You are going to get a little bit of buckling right in here, and you really can't see because if I bring it up closer, yeah, there. The tighter the handle, the more you might get a little buckle. Let's see, is that gonna, oh, I guess I might be too close. Right there. I don't worry about that because in the end, when it's layered and quilted, you won't know. Also note that I have not yet sewn down this. That's going to be another lesson, how to do the machine applique on that. And I know a lot of these are repetitive, but if, what the heck, right? You can always, John says he'll watch the same golf thing over and over. All right, a couple things you can do here. First of all, this miraculously is matching. Miraculously, it's matching because you've got the long bias here and long bias here. Yikes, okay? If it was not matching, I would assume that this is the correct one and this is the wrong one, that something happened within this that stretched it out a little bit. But that is something that you've got to assess in each case. The only thing I want now is to make sure that this doesn't get cut off. I don't want to cut that tip off. So what I'm going to do is I am actually, turn this around. I'm going to put this on the bottom and then this on the top. Yeah, it's off a little bit. Can you guys see that? It's a little bit off. Not bad though. I'll tell you this right now. I've made a ton of these. Not bad. And then right here, I think the white is just blowing this out like there's no tomorrow. Let me try that. Okay, right, I'm gonna draw. Right here is the seam line. Right there. All right. And so what I'm gonna do is I am going to stitch one hair to the raw edge, not an eighth of an inch, not a 16th of an inch, a hair. I don't want to go right through it because when I press it, I'm going to lose that tip. So one hair. And the other thing, if you have a dual feed, put it on right now. You don't want to be grabbing and pulling and pushing and all that because of all these biases. All right. And I like that I can see the cross on top. Like that a lot. All right. Let's see how we did. Um, Instead of using numbers, oh, how would you know me? It is at the 1/4 inch foot. It's the 1/4 inch foot. Thank you, Lynn, for catching me on that. I really appreciate that because I know we all have different machines. You know what's interesting about machines is that you go to different regions, and that's what everybody will be using. And you know what it gets down to? How good the dealer is. How good they are. All right, so little drum roll. Okay. Ta-da! And it did it, yay! And it is naturally going to want to press this way. So much of pressing is not light to dark, dark to light, and all that stuff. It's how it's going to go. Because you've got these little handles under here, they're winning over this little guy. So again, I'm going to press it. And then I'm going to press it here. And there you go. And I probably would clapper this one. I can't believe I didn't bring it over. I wonder if this would work. No. Because there is going to be a little resistance right here. Okay. This is floating a little bit. Okay, yeah, you can see it. It's floating. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. It bothers me if it's cut off. Okay. And then you're going to stop. That's it. You only have 36 of these to do. I say tongue in cheek. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do these things right here. There is a trick to this. Please don't go ahead. I beg of you, just get all these done and stop. If you're going to sew these on by hand, go ahead and start on that. I'm going to show you how I do it by machine. I've done it a million times, but again, I'm hoping we have new people here. All right. So this is so cute. This is so cute. We still have a couple warm kits left and more of the cool, which blows my mind because I think the cool will be beautiful. Yes, John, you got a question here? D has half square triangle technique that uses squares that doesn't make doubles. Really, Amy? Well, I'm going to say this as I'm reading the paper. There's tons of different ways to do these. And I just took you through the old-fashioned way. And when I used to be on the road teaching like my STARS class, I always made them suffer through the old-fashioned way so that like the lesson that you learned here to me is piecing and where does the bias pressing and where does the bias go. That's what you learn, and that's so important. It's so important. And oh God, this is so cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's see. Accordion method. There's another, okay, I don't know. I'll have to go look that up. Does Bernina does have a 72. Oh, thank you, Vicki. It's 72-month free financing. 72-month. Look, I'm not about buying things you can't afford, but even if you could afford, you might maybe want to take advantage of that. And also, I do have the coupons. $100 off directly from Bernina, USA. I have to have influenced you in some way of you wanting to purchase this machine. And then I'm happy to send you the coupon. I need to date it, get it to you before you buy it. I want that $100 to say, that's it, I'm gonna go get one, okay? And how you get it is you write me at ALEXANDRSN at Gmail. And then when you get it, you have a month window to purchase it. So I know a lot of you are looking at the CAFE, the little turquoise one. A lot of you have been eyeballing the 700 series. I can't say enough about that. I have the mid-range one. So, anyways, it's all really it's. We used to say to our daughter, "Come on, it's all good stuff," and then she'd get mad because we weren't being sympathetic. All right, pictures, random, and Bernina 100 coupon right to. Okay, thank you. Yes, if you have pictures to send to me, also send to me there. Um, yay! I don't want to say stop. I'm going to go where my daughter works today. She doesn't know. I want to pop in because I saw when she got the new library, not new, it was an old library, what it looked like. And then I saw it the next day and I said, has it changed? And she said, yeah. I said, can I come? And she said, yeah, just you got to come through the front door, go through the gates, go through administration, and come on in. So I'm going to go surprise my daughter. That's what I'm going to do. Have a great day. I'll see you Wednesday where we'll put this thing together. I know why half square and quarter square. I'm glad I didn't think of it at 1 o'clock in the morning and have to call you because the outside setting triangles are all quarter square. That's what that was about. Be kind to me and I'll be kind to you. Yeah. Oh, the 570 QE is a little gem too. Okay, so Sue, the difference between the 500 series and the 700 series basically is you've got that extended bed, but my 700 I would never take to classes, no way. But I have actually toyed about getting the 500 series myself. All right, have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you Wednesday. And hopefully my brain will be more screwed on straight. I didn't get enough caffeine or something.